You need money for the meter, money for the toll. Don't turn on the heater, daddy's on the dole. They tell me that the devil pays good money for your soul. We don't got no dough. Tell me there's a dollar in the pocket of your jeans. Need money for the baby, the bacon and the beans. I'd buy you a dozen roses, but I just don't have the means. Don't got no dough. Sorry, Mr. Landlord, I cannot pay the rent. Run down to the bank and ask them where my money went. Then come back and tell me just who overspent. Mister, let me tell you, I blame the government.
Well, hello again. This is Charles Main with Red Hand Adventures. Today we're going to be doing a review on the ZEON Fusion vanes from Norway Industries. I'm going to be using them this year, and we're going to find out how good they are and how they compare to the old Fusions, which I've been using for a little while. While we're doing that, I'm also going to give you a short instruction on how to make a deer call and call in a deer using 2 drink tabs off a canned drink. You can either use beer or Coke or whatever. So let's get to it. There's a lot to do. Alright, so let's talk about the ZEON Fusions from Norway Industries. If you want to get a sample of these, you can go to their website, and I'm not even sure what it is, or you can go to their Facebook page or their website at norwayindustries.com, and you can request a free sample. The free sample comes in a little Ziploc bag like this, and they'll send you a few of every color. Now, what we have here is yellow and green, orange and red, and the red looks like pink, and that's okay. I've been using the old Fusions in blue and black. Well, if they fly like the old Fusions, they're going to be great, and that's what we're going to find out here in a few minutes. The old Fusions, they've come out spinning faster than the lonely dog with peanut butter on his tail in a thunderstorm. So if the new ones fly as good as the old ones, we're going to be sitting pretty. The great thing about them is that they show up and they're so bright. You no longer need a luminoc or one of those lit knocks, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but these are legal for Pope and Young. They won't keep you out of the books if you happen to get the beast that'll get you in the books. I'm going to take an older arrow with old fletchings on it, and we're going to clean it up, defletch it, clean it up, and re-fletch it with these new ZEON Fusions, and we're going to see how they fly. Okay. I know a lot of people don't like to build their own arrows. Okay, you want somebody else to do it for you, and that's okay. In fact, you can get these arrows pre-built. You know, lots of different kinds of arrows pre-built to your specifications with the vanes that you like over at bowtuningtips.com, and I'll put a link up so that you guys can go over there. You can get your arrows from Kenny. They'll be pre-built. What I want to show you how to do is how to take an old arrow, take the fletchings off of it. Say you do something like that to your arrow. Make sure that comes out. You see that? You do something like that to your arrow, which I do that pretty often. I shoot holes in my fletchings all the time, and I get mad, but I don't have to pay $3 per arrow anymore to get them refletched. Now, one of the things you want to remember when you're doing your own arrows is not to use too much glue. Now, I used too much glue on this arrow. I didn't do it on purpose for this video, but you can. I hope you can see on here how much glue there is, and that's just not a good thing. Okay. By the way, the arrows that we're using are the Carbon Express Maximas. I'm using a 250 spine. They come in Lost Camo if you shoot a Matthews and you want to be all blingy, and that's cool. Or these are in Mossy Oak, and I like them too. I swore I'd never buy camo arrows because I hate to lose them, but I can shoot good enough now. I don't think I'm gonna lose too many of them. All right, so first thing we want to do is we want to clean up this old arrow. There's a lot of tools available to do that with. I use this Benchmade tool that I got when I was in the Army to cut seat belts if I ever got blown up, so I could get out of the vehicle. Okay, when I scraped off the fletchings of that arrow and went back and looked at the video, I could see that you guys couldn't see any of that. So I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do another segment and slip it in here so you can see how I defletched the arrow and the tool that I was using. This is the tool I was using. It's made by Benchmade. Has a NSN number on it and everything. And that doesn't show up. Anyway, it's a really neat tool. You'll notice it looks a lot like a gut hook. So, I mean, if you want to try using your gut hook, that's up to you. Ridged on the back. But this curved blade here is the thing that we're using. It just fits perfectly over an arrow. Okay? Just like that. Anyway, I've never had a problem with it. I've never even gouged an arrow with it. So, if you guys want to pick one of those up, I'm sure you can find them online. I'm not sure where. Okay, so I'm going to shoot another segment here and we'll slip it in talking about how to take the fletchings off with that Benchmade tool. A few minutes ago I shot a segment where I defletched an arrow. You guys couldn't see the tool I was using or how I was doing it or how it's coming along. So I'm going to defletch another arrow, and I hate to do it because it's a perfectly good arrow. But here we go anyway. Now, the first thing you want to do is take off that knock and that bulldog collar, whatever it's called. Protects your arrow if you shoot tight groups. Keeps your arrows from bumping up against each other and turning up the carbon. And this tool that I'm using, it's a Benchmade tool, and it fits right in there. See? And you won't gouge your arrow or anything. You just want to keep your pressure nice and tight, but not too much. And you slowly come up here and peel that off. It's like peeling an orange.
Alright. You'll see, I'm not getting into the carbon. I'm just taking off that arrow wrap and the fletchings.
I've never even gouged an arrow using this tool. It's not really the right tool to use, but it works. Okay, now this thing is very clean. Gotten all that wrapping material off. And if I can just get this wrap material off my finger, we can move forward. Okay. Now we're going to talk about how to clean off the glue that you're not scraping off, because you don't want to tear up that carbon. Right. Now there's a lot of carbon, obviously. There's a lot of glue stuck on this arrow. So I am going to clean it off with some acetone. And I realize that my acetone looks an awful lot like fingernail polish remover, and they say not to use that, but fingernail polish remover is mostly acetone. And if that's what you got laying around at the house, then that's what you can use. I have never had a problem with the arrow deteriorating from it, but, you know, always follow your arrow manufacturer's instructions, because I don't want you guys hurting yourselves and come back being all mad at me. So I'll put some acetone, aka fingernail polish remover, on this cotton pad, and I think I can get more off with this scraper. Alright, these arrows are a bit easier to clean up if you use a little Scotch-Brite pad. They're also a lot easier to use or to clean up if you use an arrow wrap. This time I didn't use arrow wrap, and I'm not going to put one on this time. Nothing wrong with them, but I want to see what these look like, because all I got is these orange wraps, and since I'm going to be using orange and green fletchings, I don't want the orange and the orange to kind of cancel each other out. I want to see what they really look like, how bright they are. Alright. pretty much got all the glue off of this one. Now, after you've gotten off all that you can with the acetone, I'm going to go back and wipe off all that dust because you've done some scraping. Then I want to get in the alcohol. I would recommend not using alcohol that you would normally drink. You don't want to get confused. So don't be using vodka or rum. We'll take a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a cotton pad. Clean that sucker up. That looks good. Alright, we have our arrow cleaned up and defletched. And now we're going to get ready to do the fletching process itself. Alright, now we have our arrows cleaned. We got 2 of them. All cleaned up. We're going to fletch them. I'm going to use 2 colors. I'm going to use green for my cock vane. And orange for my hand vanes. The fletching tool that I'm going to be using is the Arizona Easy Fletch Mini. This is really neat, absolutely idiot proof. If you've watched my other video, you'll know why I know that it's idiot proof. Okay, we want to put the cock vane in on the light side. Then we want to put our hand feathers in the other 2 arms. We want to apply a small amount of glue. Remember, we don't want to use too much glue. Put a drop here, a drop here. Just kind of smear it on. Drop here, drop here. Just kind of smear it on. Drop here, drop here. Just sort of smear it on. Now, I'm going to take our arrow, and I have these arrows already indexed because I know where I want them, how I want them to be. Okay, now close these arms up. And lock it down. I'll take the cap, slide it over. But not too, don't push it down too far or too hard. Bad things happen when you do that. Okay. Right now we're waiting on our glue to dry. We're not going to have to wait that long. It just takes about a minute. It's usually about all I let them stay in there. But I remember that I promised you guys I'd show you how to call in a deer, or how to make a deer call out of 2 drink tabs. What you do is you take your first one, you open up this part right here. Okay. And you slip it in to this one. Alright, and you hold it up to your mouth and you go, hey deer, come on over here, deer, come here. Oh well. Alright, so now I think our glue's dry.